Hello, welcome back.
Yes, today is all about guides.
Yes, it is.
Your guides, my guides, those guides.
What are they?
Guides.
What aren't they?
Yes. We don't know what's here, what the video is about.
We know about guides.
We know
That's
about
guides. We know about guides.
Yes.
But today we're doing a reaction.
Yes.
It's a TikTok. It's a TikTok reaction.
Compilation. There's several clips. A friend put together and for us to look at. So we don't know what's coming, but they're from TikTok. So
I'm afraid. But it's okay. It'll be good.
All right. So
yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
If you think that your spirit guides are here to help you, then think again. As an ex-psychic, I can tell you that these beings are not here to help you, and they're not as friendly as you may think in the beginning. I used to connect with so many different spirit guides, and they helped me navigate my day. They helped me to receive energetic upgrades, and it seemed really fun in the beginning. It seemed like I was becoming more spiritual. I was receiving help, and I felt pretty good about it.
So, I almost want to say the opposite of everything she said. Well, when she said she didn't believe that they were actually helping, yes, they do. And that's why they're with us. Everyone's here. God does not send, we don't come into life without backup.
Right. She said, think again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she thought she was getting help.
Yes.
And she thought she was having fun. She thought she was being more spiritual.
Yeah.
Wonder what happened.
I'm betting that she found religion.
Could have been.
I'll bet that's what it is. But you know what I can say? As I'm sitting here thinking about this and I was listening to you sort of reiterate is, yes, you can do all that and not become more spiritual.
Sure you can.
People do it all the time.
All the time.
You're doing it wrong. Sorry, but really, and she said something about she talked to them to navigate her day. Yes. That's not what guides are for. You don't ask them every little thing that you do. Do I pick up this water? Do I drink this water? Do I need this? Do I need that? You have to be, that's not what they're there to do.
No, there is an element of personal responsibility that we have to take.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to what else she has to say.
Yeah.
But my money
I am too, because I'm really
I am too. But my money is on the fact that I think she's become religious now.
That could be.
Because the whole ex-psychic thing, and then how they're not good.
Ex-psychic. How do you be an ex?
I don't know. Yeah. You either are.
Choice.
Yeah.
Free will.
Free will. Yeah.
Free will. Turn it off.
Yes. All right. So let's see. Let's see what else we got going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually, as I went on the journey of connecting with my spirit guides, I noticed that things started to feel a little bit weird, and I almost felt like a sense of paranoia and urgency if I didn't listen to these beings anymore. Ooh. And it put such a crazy feeling in my head that I felt like I had to listen to these beings or else something horrible was going to happen. And so I started to question that, and I decided that I didn't want to connect with them anymore. And when I did that, I actually noticed that these beings were no longer being as nice as they used to be. They started to get pretty dark, and it started to feel like they were trying to attack me.
Yep.
They were starting to get really aggressive inside my head. And it's funny because if they're the beings that they claim to be, these beings of light, then you would think that they would totally be okay with you disconnecting.
Okay. she
There's so much clarity now. So much clarity now.
Wow. Yeah.
What I want to know.
Yes.
I want to know at what point.
Yes.
Did the trickery come in?
Yes.
Because she did connect with spirit guides.
Yes.
She absolutely did.
Mm-hmm.
But at what point did she become so engrossed in
Yes.
that connection
Yes.
that
Yeah.
the dark dudes took
So,
over?
how many times have we said this? I don't even know. I don't think anyone knows how many times we have said, ghosts lie to you, and they will tell you anything they need to tell you to get you to pay attention to them and to speak to them, to have connection with them, have relation with them. That's what they do.
And if you're going to be codependent with a spirit guide, you can damn sure be
Oh.
convinced there is
yes.
some kind of earthy or entity that is
Yes.
just lurking,
Yes.
waiting
Yes.
for the right
Yes.
moment.
Yes. Spirit guides do not confuse you.
No.
They do not. And let me tell you something, as as psychic as we are, as psychic as many people we know, they don't roll around in your head like that. It doesn't,
No.
That's not the way it happens.
No.
So she was literally connecting with what she said, something darker.
Yes.
She was attributing that to her guide.
Yes.
Nah.
No.
No, not even a little bit.
No.
No.
At the point where she started to feel paranoid that if she didn't follow
Yes.
what they were saying,
Yes.
that should have been a big, huge red flag for
Yes.
her. And she should have called,
Yes.
well, she should have called us. But
this is why finding a good teacher is so important.
yeah.
This is why to have someone say, that's not a guide. They're not going to do that.
No. I am really torn between emotions right now.
Yeah.
Because there's a little bit of like, what? And then a little bit of like, oh man, she really got duped.
Yes, she did. Big time.
She really,
big time.
She really got duped.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
Codependency, man, is just like
shining bright.
Right?
Codependent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. So this is certainly, I'm going to reserve what I was about to say. I'm going to see if there's another clip. Hopefully there's more clips with her, but I don't know. It might go off into something else. But well,
let's see.
Okay.
Let's see if there is.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Oy, 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 oy.
And now that I know that Satan will disguise himself as an angel of light, I know that this is exactly what was happening with these spirit guides. They weren't actually helping me.
They weren't spirit guides.
Satan's army to turn me away from God. And now that I actually know what it feels like to connect with the Holy Spirit, I know the difference. And there's nothing that compares to it. There's nothing that compares to the support and the care and the love that I feel from the Holy Spirit.
Yep.
That is like the original spirit guide that we should be connecting to, guys. All of the other ones are not the true spirit guides.
All right. So there's a lot to talk about here.
Okay, it depends on, all of the other ones.
Yeah.
That's open to interpretation.
Yes.
But she is right. There is no comparison.
No, none.
When you are connected to the real thing.
Whether you call it the Holy Spirit, just spirit, like we call it, whatever you want to say. Even spirit guides, that's God.
That is a direct extension.
Yes.
A direct extension. Yeah. Unless that's not what it is.
And she even pointed it out. She knows that she was duped. But she didn't take it to, so I'm being duped, so they're not my guides. I want to talk to my guides. Like she just lumped it.
Beyond black and white.
Yeah, it was.
If there is such a, yes, there is. I've been there. I have been beyond black and white.
Yes.
And excuse me.
Yeah. So yeah. Woo.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So
and how sad.
Yeah.
To go to such an extreme of now saying, I'm an ex-psychic.
I know.
That really saddens me.
Yes.
Because there's so much beauty.
Yes. And here's another thing too.
Yeah.
We have missed the boat on what a psychic is.
Oh boy.
Like hugely. Just because you can connect with your higher self, with your guides, that does not make you psychic. There's so much, we've just sort of put that word in there. And so like being psychic is, we need to do we can do a whole video on that, and we probably should.
You know what's coming is that sometimes it's easier to
write
say
down my list.
You're psychic rather than I have a direct connection to spirit.
Yeah. We're all intuitive. Everyone has intuition.
Yeah.
Every one of us. And that's what I think a lot of this is. She was probably intuitive. I mean, she might have been a psychic and but again, that's something we have to talk about.
Yeah, you know,
because but I doubt it. I think she was intuitive. She was trying to find spirit. And you know what? I'm happy that she found something. If finding the Holy Spirit and believing that Satan has this army out there to get, we have different verbiage for that. So do we believe there are low vibrational forces, sort of the yin and the yang? Absolutely. We just don't say, it's not the whole Satan and his army thing. Right. But that part is, so I'm glad she found something. Woo. We are not ones who disparage anyone from finding God any way you find it. We don't put down Christians or Muslims or Jews or whoever. If that, yay, that you found out that you believe in a higher power and something is keeping you on that path of discovering yourself, of moving forward, of being kind, of being loving. That's, we want that for everyone. And whether it's
absolutely
the way we view it or the church, whatever, find it. That's what we want. So I'm really happy for her. What I'm not happy about is that now she's out there with this megaphone spewing what isn't the truth.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And so anyway, woo!
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's keep going. See if there's another one by her. I don't know if I can handle another one from her. Maybe.
I'm still scared. I'm just gonna say.
Okay.
They are just here to deceive us and take us further into the darkness. So maybe you're not at the point where you're ready to look at the whole biblical context of what I'm speaking to here. But if you're at this point where you're starting to feel like things are going a little bit weird with your spirit guides, and maybe you're feeling a little bit paranoid, maybe you're feeling like you're being pulled in many different directions, I want to just first invite you to start to detach from these voices and notice what happens. They're probably not going to be as nice. And I've talked to many other people who had the same experience of disconnecting from their spirit guides and starting to see their true colors. And so just let that speak for itself. See what happens.
All right. So there was one more with her.
There was. You know, I said a little earlier, I had a little bit of mixed emotions. That mixed emotion just went out the window.
Well, do tell what the emotion is now. Yeah.
You know, the generalization that she's making that spirit guides are evil. Yeah. I mean, that's not her word, that's my word, but
they make
Satan's army. I mean,
they take you into the darkness. That's all what earthies do.
I'm going to say, if you
earthies and entities are going to do that, but your guides aren't. So
your guides aren't.
Yes,
and if you are connected with your guides, your guidance, and you're feeling paranoid, you better check in with your ego.
Yes,
it's not your guides doing it.
No.
Could it be? Could it be another entity?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Could it be your own ego? Absolutely.
Could there also be some mental illness? Yes.
Sure.
Yes. And I would say that, and I would even say that about mental illness. I'm not laughing at mental illness, please. That was what I'm we have met people who are so far into they think they do the same thing we do. They're into spirit guides, they're into all of that, and they are so far out there, like way out there, that the same thing we would say, okay, you need to get grounded, you need to get present, you need to really learn how to connect with your personal guidance, because you're doing something else, and it's
something else.
It's something else. We've met many of them.
Being out there in the ethers is not a good thing.
No, and they're not. Yeah. So there are many ways to not be connected, or be connected to the wrong, not necessarily always wrong, but have the wrong idea of what you're connected to.
Right.
Maybe. Yeah. There's a lot of ways to have that happen.
There's something else I want to say about.
Find a good teacher. I can't stress that enough. Makes me crazy. Mm-hmm. Sorry, go ahead.
Paranoia.
Yes.
And if you are on this journey of, and I'm not talking the psychic journey,
right?
Just your personal growth journey, and you have a connection to your guidance, and you start feeling that paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
I can't guarantee it, but I can all but guarantee wounding is coming up.
Yes.
You are feeling torn between accepting self-love and living in self-loathing.
Yes.
You're confused. It's not your guides making you confused. It's your own wounding that's coming up that you want to run from.
Yes.
You want the guides to take care of it. That's not their job.
That's not their job.
Not their job.
So I'm actually
there. I'm going to stop.
Well, actually, I think this would be a great spot. Real quick, we're just going to sort of cut to a commercial. So, hey,
yeah,
we want to direct you to tcseverydaypsychics.com.
We do.
That's our website, where you can find healings, you can find development, you can find how to connect with your guides.
How to connect with yourself.
Yes, how to connect with yourself. Lots of healing. All of our services are there. Of course, our paranormal services too. Yeah. Everything is there for you to look at, and we hope to hear from you.
We do. Check it all out. There's new stuff. There's old stuff. New people.
New people, yes. All right, back to it.
Yeah.
All right. Whoo. Wow, that was a nice commercial. Okay, let's go on. Oh,
yeah.
We'll see if we have to deal with
we got someone new.
Oof.
All right, I've seen a couple people do this. Let's see if this magically eye filter can paint me an image of my spirit guides, or at least I got like a feeling image of how they feel for my guide team. All right, this is my guide, Hope. I felt it immediately. She stepped right to the front the second this popped up. She's one of my main protectors. She also wears this beautiful purple long flowing dress all the time. If you followed my account for any period of time, she's the one that threw plates at my ex-husband. She's a protector, and she's awesome.
No. And I can guarantee you that's why this clip was given to us. No.
And
no. No. I don't know what else. No. They will never throw. Did she say at her boyfriend? What the hell? Like, was your
plate?
Yeah.
No.
And just let me say this. First of all, it's not going to happen. But let's say it did. What the hell was he? Who are you with? I just want to say you might need some healing, sister. Because if you are with someone
who's treating you that badly that a guide would do that, but the guide wouldn't.
But wouldn't, no.
No.
And you all know that I have my guardians. I have a lot of, Mari-Lyn has her own. When we go into the parent, we have a lot of these, what she would call protector guides. Never. They never do that. It's just not going to happen. That is, I feel sorry for her. And I don't know what that thing, there must be some.
Oh, I think there's an app.
Okay.
That will paint.
Yeah.
Your spirit guide.
Yes.
I'm just a little bit worried about the energy in that home.
Oh.
that's flinging plates at
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, there's
That
some-
was yeah.
there is something else there
Mhm.
that is oh, sorry, the sun just
The
sort of,
sun come up.
yeah, so a little bright. Sorry about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's something else in her home that's doing that, and they are masking themselves as, and it could even be who she thinks is this guide.
Could be her own energy doing it.
Could be her own energy. Yeah, there's a lot of things, but it's never going to be a guide.
No.
Not even a protector guide.
No.
So I know that I won't tell the same story again, about how Archangel Michael protected my son and I. But maybe I will. Actually, that's actually a good.
It's a great story.
That is a great story. He and I were out for a walk. I have two grown sons, but in this one particular one, and he's pretty intuitive. He's even psychic. I would say psychic. The other one's intuitive. There's a psychic. Anyway, we were walking into this wooded area by our home, and all of a sudden we were like, "What the heck?" And it was Archangel Michael, and he was telling us to get off the trail. There was something.
And it was your son even that said that, right?
Yes. Yes. He's like, well, I think it's Michael. That's as much as they will do. They are not going to, they're just not going to throw something at you. They're not going to do, it's just not, that's not what they do. So, So
that didn't happen. I'm sorry.
No, that's just crazy. Wow, she's got something else going on there she needs to think about. And what's also coming is this can happen too. When you have particular earthies in your home or certain entities, and they're attached to you. So as you all know, attach is that emotional, not come up
emotional, that trauma bond.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can get very possessive of you. So it's very likely,
and it's not protective, it's possessive.
Yes, there is very much a difference. So whoever, I think she said Hope, her guide Hope, I would say that is an attachment she has, and it's getting possessive, and it threw something at the boyfriend because it's
a little scary.
Whoever that is wants the boyfriend gone. Yeah, it's not a guide. Absolutely not. No. And that's really scary and frightening that she apparently tells everybody that that's what happened. All right. So here we go.
Let's talk about how your spirit guides actually get messages across to you all the time and you don't even realize it. So 9 times out of 10, everybody's guides are talking to them through 2 psychic skill pathways that everybody ignores. Claircognizance is ignored a lot because it feels like our own thought. And clairaudience is often shut down due to the concern and fears around hearing voices. Fears or no fears, your guides are talking to you all the time through these pathways. You know when you just get a song in your head out of nowhere? Like, why am I singing this all day? What does this mean? If it's truly out of nowhere, listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Your guides are probably leaving you with breadcrumbs.
Okay, so yes, and yes. However,
what do you talk any faster? I
know.
Talking to the
wanted to get that message in there. He does talk about claircognizance and what other clair did he say? Clairsentient.
No, clairaudient.
Clairaudient. That's
clairaudient. Hearing voices.
Yeah.
And
yes, but they're not the only 2. He said
no, they're not 2.
He said the 2.
Yeah. There's not the only way.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of ways that they not try to communicate. They do communicate.
Yes.
We sometimes just don't understand or we don't hear.
No. And my main clair is claircognizant, so I get what he's saying with that. And it took a long time for me to understand what was my thought and what was the thought of the messaging coming in. So that I get. And the clairaudient, we have said many times this too, that there are a lot of people that do have some sort of mental illness. Usually it's like schizophrenia. And I do think they hear. They are clairaudient and they can hear. It's not all just the schizophrenia or the mental illness.
Sure.
There are people who their clairs are just open and they're hearing stuff and they don't know what to do with that. And maybe they do have mental illness along with it. And so then they go get treated by a physician. So yes, but those aren't the only 2.
No.
And then the music. Yes.
Oh yeah. Does that mean it's every time? Not necessarily,
Yeah.
but it sure could be.
Yes. Years ago, when I've told this story too. Fred knew that I was supposed to be a teacher, and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna be a teacher. I'm not gonna be a teacher. Every time I'd like get in the car, I'd turn on the radio, there'd be a song that had to do with a teacher. Like if for all of you older people like us, Van Halen's Hot for Teacher, that would come on. And so, yes, they absolutely talk to us through songs, through music.
Absolutely.
Through music. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Music is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's not always the lyrics. Sometimes it's the vibration, it's the tone. Yeah. Lots of different ways.
Yes. So I kind of like it, even though he talks. Woo! Did he talk fast?
He talks fast.
I did like him. Though.
I did too.
That
was good. That was good.
We'll see if we get him again.
Okay.
Let's go. Oh, no.
Not all spirit guides are here for your highest good.
Oh,
Let me
another
explain.
one.
Now, I have videos explaining what spirit guides, guardian angels, what's the difference. Spirit guides tend to come from your genetic lineage, your ancestral line.
Oh boy.
That's why I usually don't recommend people calling upon their ancestral line spirit guides, because a lot of them have unfinished karma.
Okay, that's where she stopped the clip.
Okay.
All right, boy, that's a lot to unpack right there.
There's a lot of confusion there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of combining different things into one package that just doesn't
go together.
No.
I'm not even sure how to unpack that, unravel it. And I don't want to move on because I don't know if we're going to see her again or if we're going on to someone else. So their ancestral line. Yeah. Did she say guides are from your ancestral line?
Yes, she said spirit guides come from your ancestral line.
No,
they don't.
No.
I don't know if rarely is the right word, but I'm going to say rarely is a dead family member a real guide.
Right.
Sure. Do they show up for guidance? Yes. Pam's father is a guide.
Yeah.
I have my mother. I have a few people that have come in to guide me in certain things, not even areas, things, certain things. But that's very different than a spirit guide.
Yes. There was something written on there about trauma or something.
Yeah, they have
unfinished trauma.
Unfinished trauma might be the way it was worded.
Yeah.
Our ancestors do have unfinished trauma.
Right.
A lot of times they will come in to help heal.
Yep.
Themselves.
Yep.
Give us the opportunity to heal.
Yes.
But that's such a different thing than a spirit guide.
Yeah. She's really another person that's sort of combining things.
Multiple things that just aren't.
Yeah.
She's trying to make an orbital.
I think she's trying to make something fit in
like
her
an
head.
orange and an apple. An orbital.
That's funny. Say that again. An orbital? Is that what you said? I'll have to remember that. I'm going to start using that. An orbital. People are going to think I'm out of my. Well, they already do. So they'll just be a little extra. An orbital. Yes. An orbital. Yes. Should we move on before she gets totally spirit drunk here? Okay, let's see.
Or unfinished karmic loops that they kept repeating in their lifetime, like they just couldn't get the lesson. Guess what? Your DNA is your template to your archetype as a person. And your ancestors, their traumas, their story runs through your DNA.
Oh, I see
Your
where
DNA is literally the coding that is everything that you are and everything that came before you. So this is why when you use ancestor spirit guides to help you, they may not actually be doing things for your highest good.
Okay. We got
made
an oracle. She has made an oracle. Yes. So here's the thing, and we talk about this a lot. This is one of the reasons we don't do past life stuff. Yes. When we come into this, oh man, there's so much to unpack here. We have things that we want to work on. Sometimes, many times, almost always. It's actually stuff that we have worked on in previous lifetimes, and they roll over. And when you don't get it done in this lifetime, you take it to the next lifetime. Mm-hmm. You don't get it done in that lifetime, you take it to the next lifetime. Mm-hmm. That's how it works. And so it's our stuff that we need to heal, that we are working on healing. Mm-hmm. They're not, one thing I always trust about spirit is spirit brings it to you when it's time to heal it. Mm-hmm. So that's what that if it's coming up for you, it's because it's time now. You're at that time in your life, you're at that divine timing, as they say, mm-hmm. to get it done. Mm-hmm. And that's when they're not going to, something about a loop and she had
a karmic loop. So many things that she's just made into
so many
one.
Oracles.
Okay. So we have two different ancestral lines.
Yes.
Right? We have the spiritual of life after life after life, yes. But we have the physical body.
Yes.
Ancestral line.
Yes. Who is learning also.
Yes, absolutely learning. And yes, our ancestral line,
which is our body Deva's line,
it does carry wounding that mm-hmm. comes through to us. Mm-hmm. And it really sounded to me like she's combining the two.
Yes, that's what I took it as. She's taking the spiritual and putting it onto the ancestral.
Yeah, and yes. There's another oracle.
Yes,
she's made many.
Yeah, and so we choose the Deva, the physical body. We choose our Deva also because of its ancestral line. Okay, so I have my ancestral line. We have breast cancer. Whether I get breast cancer or not in this lifetime, I don't know, but that could be something when I chose this physical body, that was something that I wanted to deal with in this lifetime. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? It does to me.
Well, it does to me too.
You all can let me know if, so no one's going to, it's not like a past ancestor is going to come and start working on their stuff through you. She's really, you can see the scaredness in her. Like there's fear.
It's just a big conglomeration of things that shouldn't be.
Right. She's something, I'm going to say this, something has come up for her. It's time for her to do, at some point it was time for her to do some healing. She got scared. She didn't want to do it. And so she was looking for someone to blame. It's because I called in my ancestors. That's why they came in with their shit and put it on me. Now I have to deal with it. That's right.
That could happen.
Okay. Let's see if, let's see what we got going. If you're ready.
Yeah.
All right. I think.
No more oracles.
No more. Woo.
Because they themselves have so much unhealed trauma. So when they think that they're helping you, they're actually just trying to help themselves release their own karmic loop. And sometimes that could go against your soul blueprint, what you're supposed to do in this lifetime.
No.
Because what if in this lifetime you came down to do humanitarian work, but you have one ancestral spirit guide that's around you all the time, feeding you ideas of, instead of doing humanitarian work, they think your highest good is to achieve mass amounts of wealth because they didn't get to do that in their lifetime.
Wow. All right.
A lot of confusion. A lot of
confusion with that. Oh, that poor girl. I really do feel sorry for her.
Yeah.
She has it so messed up in her. So that is so fear-based right there.
Yes. This is a little off topic, but I'm going to say it because it came up while she was talking. What she was explaining about their unhealed trauma.
Mhm.
That's the importance of having a teacher or a
Yes.
healer that is healing, and why you don't want to be an unhealed healer.
Yes.
Because you can do what
Yes.
she was talking about. You're helping somebody
Yes.
and you trauma bond.
Yes.
Well, you're going to be working on your
Yes.
shit,
Yes.
not theirs.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah.
There's a few things here too.
Woo.
If that person is in spirit, which they would be if you're calling out,
Right.
they're not, no, oh my goodness. Yes, they have things they want. The difference between what we deal with and what you deal with there is different.
Very different.
What healed spirits in the higher realm, yes, they still have things they want to work on. Yes, but they don't have, it's not the same trauma we have here. They have
Right.
regret that they didn't work on something, they didn't get it done. They don't impose that on you.
No, they don't have the ego anymore.
No, that would be, I would also say that's probably another earthy or entity trying to get to you.
Or an unhealed healer giving you
really bad
information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was something else there too, and I lost it.
Oh, and you didn't write it down.
I didn't write it down. I know. Darn it. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
woo.
Yeah, wow. And that was the last one.
Okay.
Which is good. I don't think I could take another one.
Whew, that was a lot in there.
Wow.
That was a lot.
Yes. I feel sorry for that poor girl. I really do. Because that's not the way it works.
Yeah.
And for her to be afraid, it's beautiful. Sometimes we have, when I drum, we'll just sit and we'll drum, and ancestors come in, and it's beautiful and loving, and they're there to help and to guide, and it's just a beautiful thing. And none of them are trying to they're doing their own thing. They don't need to go through us to get that shit done. They will be encouraging. If I have something, like I said, spirit will bring it up when it's time to bring it up. And if there's something I need to be working on right now, they'll be very supportive of that and me getting that healing that I need.
Right.
And it could be connected to what they had too. Of course, if there's lineage there.
Sure.
But no, not in that way.
So
she made it sound like they beat you over the head to get
exactly.
their wounding. No.
Codependency is coming in again so strong. I don't care what guide you are connecting with.
Thank you. Now I know what I was
thinking. Really doesn't matter if you feel, scratch that. Guides are not going to cross our free will. Guides are not going to try to convince us or force us.
Nope.
It doesn't work that way.
Nope.
If you're so enmeshed with your guides that you're relying on them for absolutely everything, you got some serious codependency going on here. And personal responsibility is one thing our guides want for us.
Yes.
And
because that's how we evolve.
Yeah.
And our guides are here to guide us to evolve.
Yeah. They're not the enmeshment type.
No.
Sure, we can get enmeshed with them, and we can overdo our part in that connection.
But they don't join in the fun. They don't. They don't.
No. It's all us and ego and
the more we get clingy with them, this brings me back to, I think it was the first person, the one that the ex-psychic one. The more it's more than leaning on them. When you start asking them for everything, the more they back away. They're like, you have free will. That's what you're in this lifetime to do. You have to make your own choices. We can't make those choices for you. Yeah. And what I was going to say was, we've already chosen our guidance before we came into this life. They're already all chosen. So we're not calling in some random person or random guide out of nowhere. We've already chosen them, so they're coming to us. Does that make sense? Instead of, because she kept saying, when you call them in, don't call them in, don't ask for them, don't. It's like, okay, but so on a certain line, I agree with that. Your guidance is your guidance, and you don't call it. So I know I'm probably confusing people, so I'm going to give an example. At one point in this journey of mine, way back when I sort of started, I wanted to meet a bunch of ascended masters. And so I would sit down and I would channel these ascended masters, and they'll come in. You want to meet whoever, they'll come in. Isis, Mott, whoever. And you can talk to, but they don't stay. They go. They're not there to guide you. But they'll come in and talk to you if you want to talk to them, but they're not a guide. They're not assigned to you. You haven't contracted with them to do that work. So calling in old ancestors, and that's going to call in earthies and entities and all kinds of. You need to be careful. Oh my goodness, find a good teacher. Be
prepared for what you're calling on.
Yes, 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 and know the difference. And I know people out there saying, well, how are we supposed to know? You find a good teacher to help you. That's how. Well, how do I know a good teacher? Well, you're watching a couple, but but do diligence when you go to find a teacher. It has to feel right, and what they say has to land for you and feel right. And that teacher may be your teacher just for one class or one day or one message. We all have many teachers in our lifetime. I still have. Mari-Lyn is a teacher. Every one of my students is a teacher to me. Everyone is a teacher. You learn something from everyone. And so it's not like one and done. I know we'd kind of like to have the one next. It doesn't work that way. No. So doesn't. So if you go to a teacher, I would say this with anything, a therapist, a doctor, anything, you don't like what they're saying now, it's not landing, you move on to another one. You move on. Yeah. So
one of the most beautiful things about learning to connect with guidance is when you can really learn that they're there. So you're not calling them in.
No.
You're inviting them. You're acknowledging you're there. Thank you. I need help right now.
Yes.
You're there. I appreciate that. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Stay close, because I think I'm going to need you in an hour. Yes. that kind of thing.
They don't tell you how to make your decisions, or no, it's just not. We'd like them to, and there are times when I'm asking. I have some decision. I'm like, tell me what to do, and they're just standing there. Hey, I'm here when you're done making that decision, and it's yeah. And not all guides are created equal. No. Different guides do different things for different reasons, different purposes. I have a whole slew of guides that I never talk to until I do a house clearing. And then they're all there. And the ones that I talk to, whoop, they kind of go out. And there's no ego there. They're just, yeah.
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 That was just going to open up a whole another
video
guide conversation, probably a whole nother video.
Yes.
So I'm just going to save it.
Okay. So if you have more questions about guides, drop them below, please.
Or guides about teachers. Guides about teachers. Questions. Sorry, I am recovering. That was adorable. I am recovering from an illness, so.
Yes, she is. She's much better now.
That's
better. Why we're sitting next to each other.
No longer contagious.
No. So,
but yeah, your questions, your comments, drop them below.
Yeah. And what's coming in now is we place too much emphasis on guidance, on who our guides are. And the most important thing about being intuitive, about being psychic, about being connected, about being spiritual is allowing yourself, there's a pull that everyone has, that you'll feel that pull. Don't wait to hear it, to see it, to whatever the signs and everything. Those are all great, but we don't need them. It really comes from within, and it's our own choices. There is no wrong choice. They're just choices. Sometimes that choice turns into a lesson, which we needed. It doesn't mean it was the wrong choice. And then you make another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, whoo, wow, we place way too much emphasis on guides, I think. And they're wonderful, and we talk about them when we have them, you know that. But really,
this was the other video that I wasn't going to bring up. That was good.
Okay.
No,
That was something else.
That was good. Nope. I'm gonna wait for the other video. Okay. So that was good. That was perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in.
Yep. Tune it in.
And
your support, your
yes.
comments, like, subscribe, share.
Yep.
Help us get the word out.
Yes. And you know what? Something that we didn't, and it probably should have been done at the beginning of the video, but I didn't even think about it. So Mari-Lyn, we've been doing this for over 20 years. And yeah, so we've learned a lot over the years, made, like everyone does through the beginning. Like all of these girls, there was one boy in there, were pretty young and sort of learning. And I have hope for all of them that at some point they'll really find the truth of being spiritual and what that is, and combining that metaphysical and the paranormal and everything all in together and learning. And because I mean, I could look back when I was, 20s, 30s. Some of the things I believed are not what I believe today. I learned just by doing, by living this, and by exploring and asking questions and listening to people, reading books. I still read books from people. I want to know different perspectives out there. I haven't read one for a while, but I just like to hear what other people are thinking out there.
That brings up an important point of there's not one perspective. There's not one truth.
Right.
There's really not. Multiple things exist at the same time.
Yeah.
And everybody has to see it through their own lens.
Yes. True. There is one truth. We all have to heal. That's why we're here. That's why we came into this life. That's why life is so hard and heartbreaking, traumatizing.
It's supposed to be.
Oof, it's supposed to be, because we're here to heal all that stuff. That's all of that, what you might call ancestral, a little bit, kind of, but it's really us coming through. Anyway, yes. Whew, I think I'm done. I think I need to be done. So I'm starting to confuse myself now. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it.
Take care.
Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.